So I actually did this week's exercise twice, and yeah, it was pretty interesting. Absolutely.
Say hi, Ruby. Hi. That's my girl.
So the prompt was choose a spot outside. So I chose my back deck because my wife and I spent a lot of money last year to get that thing nice and beautiful, and dusted off some snow. Went out there, and I decided I was gonna watch over to the neighbor's house. She's got these really little dogs that are absolutely as annoying as you could ever imagine dogs to be. And I took some time and sat out there and just observed. What did I write down? Well, I wrote down the excessive barking and kind of the inordinate amount of vehicle traffic that was going on in the street a block over from me, which I don't ever think I seen that many cars in one spot. I think there had to be some type of community event going on. What did I notice? I noticed that the snow is starting to thaw pretty quickly in that area. Felt pretty good outside, not gonna lie. I mean, it was upwards like right around 50 some degrees, and that's cool because it means I'm getting closer to being able to hop on my motorcycle and ride off into the sunset. So I'll tell you something about me. I have an absolutely keen sense of awareness. Um, some people might call it hypervigilance, but hey, I'm a cop, so that's just kind of what I do. So I did listen intently and closely to kind of the things around me, and yeah, that was pretty cool. The birds were chirping, which we love birds, or at least my wife loves birds, and I love birds too because we spend a lot of money on bird feeders in my yard. Maybe I might drop a couple photos in there of that.
So here's my back deck. Pretty cool. That house right there, that's where all of the barking dogs come from. And then that's my backyard here. Pretty cool, huh? Yeah. And then this is where we sat. Yes, we have to put the covers back on it because if it's not being used, my wife says it has to stay covered.
So, like I said, I did this twice. The first time, I took some really cool notes, and I realized something that as I kind of progressed through my own education, I do like to get my kids involved in a lot of different things and try to have some of those high level conversations with them. I know this week's reading was a lot about coding and categorizing and themes. So it was very interesting to try to have a much more simplistic conversation with them. So the second time I went out and I did it, same location. I got both my boys. I made them grab a piece of paper, well, a little notepad, and we went out. And their observations were so. Mind you, we're not even talking like an hour apart from the first time that I went out, and then the second time that I brought the boys out. And as we sat, I think we sat 7 minutes exactly, and our observations were as completely different as you can imagine. Like, while I tried to focus on something different than the barking dogs, they were still out there, by the way. I tried to focus on something a little bit different than the barking dogs, and kind of the vehicle traffic. It had died down considerably, so I focused more on the wind. There's a little bit of wind. I focused on my yard being relatively green. I focused on this little. It's just interesting. So then I read over what my boys wrote, and one of them focused on the deck. He focused very much focused on the deck, the treks and all that other cool stuff. And he talked about how, he can't wait to see me do some smoking and grilling this spring and summer. My youngest, though, his observations were much more focused on space and the color of the sky and a bunch of different things. So that was cool to kind of see how we were all in the same space, kind of looking all at the same things, but at the same time, we are all observing very much differently. There's a section in the reading, but writing is hard. I really like this part because I think that I am more keenly aware of my writing, as I'm sure everybody is, but sometimes it gets hard when you think about where you want to go with a lot of the different topics that you read, and then trying to synthesize how you got to that process on paper, right? So I really appreciated the kind of the writing exercises. What is the key issue here? What do I know for sure? One thing that I definitely have evidence for. I appreciated that because it kind of gave me a sense of, just something to do to kind of start working towards something. It did remind me a bit of the stream of consciousness, like kind of thought processes, and I just love the fact that I could just write and kind of not focus on grammar or spelling, anything like that, and just put things down on paper. My question then would be, did you understand representations? Did it help you? Or anything you could share with me about it? I guess that's all I got. Thanks.